station is notoriously hot. And check this out. We've got our thermometer gun, and here we go. Over 100 degrees. It is so hot down here. This is one of the hottest and frankly one of the nastiest subway stations in all of New York City, but maybe not for long.
And I never thought I'd want to bring the heat of the Chambers Street station into my office, but that's basically what we're talking about.
There is a plan in the works to remove some of this excess heat from the Chambers Street Jay-Z station here in Lower Manhattan. It's part of a major top-to-bottom renovation of this century-old station. So how does it work, and which station is the hottest? Well, I brought this thermometer gun to 3 different transit hubs to find out. How comfortable are you down here? How does it feel right now?
It's very hot out here, so I'm not comfortable at all.
I cannot breathe. You see how it's, awful.
We started in Midtown at the 34th Street Herald Square station, where around 4 o'clock in the afternoon on a Monday in August, the heat was already on. And the temperature reading, over 90 degrees. Still, it was comfortable enough for some.
It's been worse. It's been a lot worse. So, yeah, it's not. I don't think it's that bad.
But then we headed downtown to Union Square on the 456 line. At rush hour, trains whiz through here every couple of minutes with throngs of people fighting for space in an absolute furnace. Okay, so we've made our way to the Union Square station on the 456 line. This station is notoriously hot. And check this out. We've got our thermometer gun, and here we go. Over 100 degrees.
This is one of the worst stations. I'm all sweaty inside. It's nasty. You got to stand next to people, rub sweaty elbows.
Union Square was brutal, but it was not number one. For the final stop, we hit up Lower Manhattan, and that's where our thermometer officially hit the peak. It is so hot down here. We're standing inside the Chambers Street station in Lower Manhattan, and this is frankly one of the hottest and nastiest stations in all of New York City. And on a day like today, it feels less like a transit hub and more like a sauna. Here at the Brooklyn Bridge City Hall and Chambers Street complex, our heat gun clocked in at over 103 degrees, making it officially the hottest station of our test.
It's been hot for the last 2 weeks. You have to come in with your t-shirt, get ready to get drenched, but it's just part of being a New Yorker, right?
So 3 transit hubs, 3 different numbers. But wait, how about a bonus location? Underneath the iconic Grand Central Terminal is one of the busiest subway stations in the city. On the express track, the 4 and 5 trains whisk you from scalding hot Brooklyn Bridge and 14th Street to a much more comfortable 42nd Street Grand Central, which has limited platform air conditioning and a temperature clocking in at just under 91. That is more than 10 degrees cooler than the downtown stations on the same line. So why not put air conditioning at every station?
Air conditioning is a big challenge in a system where you have so many openings. We have the vents, we have the stairways, we have all these other exits.
To understand why Chambers Street on the Jay-Z line is hitting 103 degrees, you have to look at how a subway actually creates heat. It's not just the summer air drifting down from the street. Think about this. Every time a 400-ton train pulls into a station, its brakes convert massive amounts of kinetic energy directly into thermal energy. Add in the high-voltage third rail, electric motors, thousands of human bodies, and some ironic physics. Train air conditioning doesn't destroy heat, it actually just vacuums heat out of the train cars and then blasts it right onto the platform. Over a century, all that heat has soaked directly into the solid rock surrounding the tunnels, turning the station walls into a giant thermal battery that bakes the air 24 hours a day.
The humidity is the worst part of it.
Opened in 1913 and listed on the National Register of Historic Places, decades of water damage and disinvestment have left it with peeling paint, missing tiles, and brutal heat. And what makes Chambers Street so strange is not just the heat, it's the scale. When this opened back in 1913, it was designated as the crown jewel of downtown transit, a grand, multi-platform mega hub meant to process hundreds of thousands of commuters. Well, today, just under 20,000 commuters travel through here every day, still a significant number, but it's far less than what it was built for. And that's why there's an entire platform right in the middle that isn't even used. Governor Kathy Hochul says the station will finally get a top-to-bottom rehabilitation thanks to congestion pricing tolls. But solving the heat problem requires a far more radical engineering idea. Enter an $800,000 thermal energy network study.
And I never thought I'd want to bring the heat of the Chambers Street station into my office, but that's basically what we're talking about.
The goal here is to vacuum the trapped heat out of Lower Manhattan's hottest stations, send it underground, and then store it to heat city buildings in the winter.
What do you think about that?
Well, that's good. It's always good to see New York City upgrade, so I'm looking forward to that.
We need to hurry up with that one, right? It's been a rough summer on us.
Environmental activist Kim Fraksek explained it further to Pix 11 News.
It's the difference between capturing energy and creating energy. So right now our mindset is really stuck in, we need to take gas, we need to extract gas and burn it for energy.
Here's how it works in theory. Heat from the subway is captured using a system of pipes and pumps with holes drilled 500 to 600 feet straight down into Manhattan's granite. Small motors and fans circulate that thermal energy directly up into municipal structures like the David Dinkins Building or City Hall.
Think of water as sort of the battery. So it's clean, it's not combustible, and you're just storing heat inside the water system. And then you use what's called a heat pump to take out heat where you need it or take heat in if you don't need it.
St. Patrick's Cathedral has used the system for 10 years to capture heat and use it for heating and cooling. Con Ed also has 2 projects being reviewed by the Public Service Commission for next steps. One reissues heat from a data center for housing in Chelsea. The other is at Rockefeller Center. But it would be the first time they've done it with the subway system in New York. Cities like London and Paris have already started tapping into their subterranean heat. In London's underground, wasted heat from the Northern Line is captured to provide heating and hot water to over 1,000 homes. Paris uses heat from a metro line to warm a public housing complex. So if New York City can pull it off at Chambers Street, it proves that the city's worst infrastructure problem might actually double as a renewable energy goldmine. Mayor Mamdani says this geothermal feasibility study will commence in late 2026, and if the technology succeeds beneath Chambers Street, design work begins in 2027.
It's $1.4 million to the city just to heat the David Dinkins Municipal Building. So this has the potential to save the city money. It has the potential also to help us combat the climate crisis and to better the experience of riders across New York City.
And then, if it works there, this experiment could serve as the master blueprint to cool down hundreds of underground furnaces across the entire subway network. Hopefully, not a moment too soon.